everybody, welcome to Through Blue Lenses. I'm your host Alicia, aka Blue, and today I have my first guest, Christina Palas.
Hi.
She is a Delaware model and she goes by Over My Hot Dead Bod on Instagram if anyone wants to find her. How you doing, Christina?
I'm really good. How about you?
Pretty good. I'm excited about this.
Same.
So, Christina is a fellow model friend of mine, so we're going to have a lot to talk about, a lot of things that we can really agree on. So I want to ask you first, what made you want to start modeling?
Okay, so like I've always been kind of like an artsy or fake artsy person in high school. Like I've always wanted to get into photography myself, and I just kind of like put it off for a long time, and then eventually like I don't even know what kind of hit like when I was in college, but I think like there was like somebody in my college that also modeled. Like I didn't really know her well, but I was like, oh, I mean, I guess I could kind of look and see like if I could do that too. So I kind of like went on Instagram and I searched for like local photographers, and like I was like, okay, this could really happen, like I could do this. And I kind of got into it by meeting my first local photographer, and that was like a really fun experience. I'm like, oh, like this is something that I could see myself doing, like, you know, every so often. It was like really fun, and that's kind of what got me into it. It's just like I really wanted to have fun with like art and photography and kind of be in front of a camera, and also like slowly learn how to use a camera over time. But that's like the general gist of like why I started.
Yeah, that's a good place to start because you kind of learn every part of it, I feel like. So what was your first shoot? What was that like?
That was really, it was kind of nerve-wracking because I was like, okay, my overdress and my underdress, like it was just supposed to be like a casual, like we were outside, it was in the summer, very hot, so I was like, okay, do I look okay? Like, you know, I had like really long frizzy hair, like I didn't know what to do with my makeup, so it was like exciting, but also like I was really nervous. But when I got there, like I had like a really good time with this photographer. He's like a really good friend of mine right now, and I always shoot with him like whenever I can, and he made me feel really comfortable. So I was like, you know what, this is like really cool if I can meet like photographers like this and like just have fun with the experience. I like this could be like a really fun thing to do. So, you know, although it was like kind of nerve-wracking at first, like I kind of like really got comfortable with it at the end of that first shoot, even though it was like really stiff. Like my first pictures, I just look so stoic, like I'm like doe-eyed, like I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah,
that's always difficult when you like, if it's not your profession that you've been doing for a while, you like kind of freeze up and you don't know what's going on. But
yeah.
It's good that you at least had a good person to get you started.
Right. I was really lucky because I'm sure like sometimes like you could have like a beginner photographer and a beginner model, and you're just both like, do I pose now? Do I shoot now?
Do you find that difficult trying to pose your body, or is it something that you just do?
So it's become more natural because I have like my go-to like poses when I'm kind of like stuck, but it's easier when you're like in a nice environment. Like I find things where like you're just kind of out in the open or like in a studio when you just are just by yourself, it's a little like, oh, what do I do with my body? Does this look weird? And sometimes like it might feel weird, but just know that like it looks good like on camera. So like that's kind of like I have to like, okay, you might feel weird, but you look okay, like just chill out. But sometimes it can get like a little complicated or uncomfortable trying to pose. But
yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize like how difficult it is to pose your body and hold something for several seconds.
Yeah.
And when you say seconds, that's not a long time, but it's painful, right?
Yeah, when you're sitting there, if you have to like crouch or you have to like balance yourself in some way, like it can be like, okay, I can't sweat either, like because that's gonna be picked up. Like I can't show that like I'm human, basically.
Just stay stiff.
Yes,
but also not stiff. It's difficult, right?
Yeah, it is. It can be.
So then you said you had a good experience your first time. Was that your favorite, or do you have a specific one that was your favorite?
Okay, I have like two. One of them where I kind of found what I really like doing is like kind of playing a different character. So I had like a vintage car shoot sort of. So we had like two old cars, like a red long like Cadillac type of car, and like a short little like yellow buggy, and I dressed up in like this like red vintage outfit and like a little yellow headband, and I just cut my hair into like a pixie, so I just felt like really like vintage. Like I loved it so much. So like that was a really fun shoot, like just posing with like the old model cars. And then another one I did was I have to remember. It was like a demon shoot where like I had like little black horns.
Oh yeah, that one was cool.
That was really fun. Like we found like this old abandoned like barn sort of thing, and it was like kind of a cloudy day, and I had two other models working with me, and we had like black clothing on. Like I think those are my two favorites because like you just play not somebody entirely different, but like just you get to like get into like a character, and I really like that too. It's like sort of different than like a portrait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring something different to like your
Yeah.
portfolio, really.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is your least favorite shoot you've done? We've all got a horror story.
I want to pull up the one that you share
Yeah.
with me, but I will. So should I do that one? Because that is kind of like.
You can talk about your experience with him because yours is
yeah.
different than mine, but
Okay.
yeah, not great.
Because like I've had instances where I've gotten pictures back where I'm like, that's not really what I wanted, but like the experience was fun.
Mm.
So I guess even though I got good pictures from this one particular person, the experience itself was very unnerving and uncomfortable because I was in a large forest alone in Pennsylvania on like a Wednesday when nobody was there. So it turned out fine, like the images turned out fine, but the photographer himself was subpar in his human skills, like, and his decency skills. Well, I guess it started off as him kind of being standoffish, but like, okay, whatever, he's maybe like a little nervous. But then he like kept getting like really awkward with me or like a little too close. Like he would say shit. Oh, sorry. He would say shit. He would say shit like, "Oh, I really like how you look right now, but can you just like put your bra strap down, or how about you just take it off all entirely? Because I just love that look." Like,
oh my God.
I'm like, so that's not gonna happen. Or like I had like a skirt, and he would ask me to like pull up my underwear so it showed. I'm like, I'm not sure what you think this is, but this was supposed to be like a fashion shoot. And he kept trying to push it towards a like in the forest boudoir kind of thing, or like implied. And he was just overall, he made me kind of feel uncomfortable. He would sniff my hair. He would try.
Just so wrong.
He would try to hug me all the time because he liked the way my hair smelled. He's like, "Oh, you're just so warm, and your hair smells like grapes." I'm like, I don't know if I should be saying thank you or running far away.
Run away and say thanks.
Yeah, because again, that's one of those instances where like, yeah, okay, I like the pictures, I even posted some of them, but like my experience as I like let it brew over time, I was like, well, that was not right. That wasn't really cool of him to like, So yeah, although you have a good photographer in your hands, you just gotta be careful. If you don't like how they act or if you're not feeling good about it, like you don't have to care about how like professional they are, how experienced they are. They're still a creep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was my worst experience.
So, like, you have experiences with these photographers. Is it just that one, or have you had like a couple?
Honestly, it kind of was that one. Like, obviously, I've worked with a couple photographers where I either haven't gotten pictures back or it's taken a while to get them back. Like, I recently did a thing for Halloween, and I did it kind of early on in October, and I don't have my pictures still. So
that's messed up.
Right? I dressed up as like, I guess I can say the character. I dressed up as a Coraline, like as like a sexy Coraline. I wanted to I dressed up. It was hot, like it was humid. I went out to the forest, and I don't have them yet. So I didn't even have anything to put up for Halloween.
Wow.
But it's just one of those things. Like I don't think I've ever had experiences besides that one where I was like, I did not enjoy that.
Yeah.
Like it's always been okay, or like, oh, I really like that, but nothing like below that.
Yeah, so you have like people that can be weird during your photo shoots, but then what about like on your Instagram? Do you have like weird comments, weird DMs?
Sometimes.
Like, how do you deal with that?
So like I get a lot of DMs. Like so recently I have this one photographer that found me like via a Facebook group of local photographers, and he's always messaging me about like, can you do a milk bath, or can you do boudoir, can you do this, can you do that, like can I do a fashion shoot? He's like, if you are clothed, you're gonna have to pay me. I'm like, oh, well, first of all, let's rewind this, sir. You're blowing up my DMs trying to shoot with me, and I keep saying, no thank you, I'm really not interested, I don't want to work with you. Like I'm very like abrupt and clear, and sometimes a little bit rude, but like he keeps pestering me. And I get a lot of people that pester me that I'm like, I just don't like agree, not agree, but I don't really like vibe with what kind of work you do, or like what direction you want to take photography in, but like, you know, do you. So this particular person eventually is like, so you don't want to work with me? I'm like, yeah, I really don't. And he just messaged me this morning, like, I have this theme, and he showed me like a picture of a girl like half naked, like lying on a couch. I'm like, you know what? Some people just don't really get the message, and you learn that in your DMs. Like, you'll just see like a theme, a common theme of like the same messages over and over again. I'm like, okay, maybe one of these girls is gonna like react, and like they're just like, you know, shooting their shot. Like whoever bites is gonna bite. But yeah.
So he's obviously asking for boudoir, and he's gonna pretty much demand that you're gonna pay him unless you're doing boudoir. So that kind of sounds like he's trying to get some like free kicks out of it himself.
That's
like that's really creepy. And sometimes, not all photographers, but they definitely take advantage of that.
Yeah.
But you know, for people that do boudoir, that's just something they do. And I know you've had experience with some people like having their ideas about boudoir. Like, how do you feel about it?
Yeah.
Or like, how do you feel other people think about it?
Like, I want to, you know, eventually pursue it, like eventually, because I'm not ready yet, even though like, you know, people keep pestering me. I'm like, look, when I'm ready, I'll be ready. But
yeah, do it when you are ready.
Yeah, but it's still like photography, and like you said, like people have opinions on it, and some people have strong opinions, like, and towards the negative, where it's like they see it as like this stain on the photography community, when it's like, it's just photography. Like, you can't exclude it from being photography or being art because you don't agree with it. Like, you're like, some people are okay with like swimsuit modeling, but not with lingerie modeling. And I'm like, it's the same amount of skin, if not more, like, or if not like less skin. Like, you, like lingerie can be more covering than like a bathing suit. But I guess it's just like the idea of it being lingerie. Some photographers, some models are like really against it, and they'll just actively like shame it on their platform. Like, what's the point of shaming other photographers and models, like, when it's just another art form? Like, just because you don't dabble in it doesn't mean that you're better than any other artist out there. So like, I like boudoir, like I really enjoy it. I want to like eventually get into it, but that doesn't mean like if you don't like it you have to shame it. Yeah.
There should definitely be some more support on that, because
Exactly.
I mean, I understand that some people are like, oh, it's boudoir, like you're naked,
You're
and
right,
sometimes
it's porn. Like, no, it's not porn. Like, do you know what porn is?
Yeah, even porn stars, like some of them are really nice people, you know?
Yeah.
They're out there doing their thing.
And even if, yeah, I know they're using porn as it's like, that's a derogatory term. I'm like, first of all, it's not that, but even if it was, like, is that a bad thing?
I mean, they have much more money than all these people judging them, right?
Like, get your coin, boudoirists.
So, not just boudoir, but like how, just your photo shoots that you've been doing so far.
Yeah.
How do people see that? How do they see you? Do they see you as an Instagram model? Do they see you as a regular model? Your friends and family?
Actually, I don't know, because when I think of regular model, I think of like editorial or like high fashion, but they definitely, I don't think anyone's ever seen me as an Instagram model, because I feel like that's like a niche in itself, where it's like you take pictures solely for like the platform instead of like traveling to other places to model for different shoots and like dress up and do like different fashion shoots and stylized shoots. I feel like Instagram model has like, although, you know, I know, because a lot of the times a lot of local models, like, because they're not like signed to somebody, people are like, are you just a basic Instagram model? You're just going around like having photographers take your picture and you post it online, and you know better than like these other Instagram models that like just post their pictures like drinking coffee in the morning. I'm like, no, I'm not shaming Instagram models, but you know, a lot of people are likened to a basic Instagram model, but I don't know, I guess people see me as like, I don't know if they even see me as a model though. Like, I know photographers do, but, and when I think of like my family or maybe friends, they just see me as like having fun with my hobby instead of like, oh, she's a model. Like, no, she just takes pictures. Like, that's how they see it. Like, so I'm not like either or. I'm just like a person that likes to have their picture taken.
Do you feel like there's a distinction between what you do and then a model, or whatever someone would consider a real fashion model?
I guess. Like, I guess with a model, you expect them to have like, they have to go to shoots, or like they get paid to travel and do different shoots. Like, they're in like published magazines, which anyone can publish a magazine. So then what like I do and like other local models might do is like, you just get to like pick and choose when you want to work. Like sometimes you'll do once a month, like sometimes you'll do a couple times a month, depending on when you want to do it. And it's like, it is kind of more of a hobby when you're just kind of doing it. Like, you can be like freelance and obviously charge your own rates, but like a lot of people just do it just to do it, like, and have fun, meet people. So I guess that's like the distinction that I have.
Yeah. Do you feel like you take yourself more seriously? And as a freelance model, like, are there different things that you have to do that you don't feel like other people have to experience or they don't even know about as a freelance?
I don't know, because I guess I never experienced anything but that. Like, I guess the one thing I could think of is like I have to get ready on my own. Like, I have to buy my own clothes, and I have to do my hair, and I have to transport myself. Like, it's like you're doing everything yourself, and you have to be like on time and present, and then you also don't really have assistants like on the shoot. It's just you and the photographer, or maybe like a friend you brought just for like support. But like, I guess that's really the only difference, because I've never experienced like, I don't want to say a real shoot, but like a shoot with like a set, like people there to like help, but like a crew, like, so I've always just had like myself and that's it.
It's definitely weird being a freelance model. Yeah. Like you said, you are on your own. You do everything by yourself. And when you work with some sketchy people like that, and you don't know they're sketchy until you get there.
You have to do your own research, basically. Like you have to ask around. Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, either I might die today, or like I'll get some good pictures of this.
I have my pepper spray, but let's hope it works.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's definitely it's hit or miss. So talking about how people view you as a model, how do you think photographers view models?
Okay. Well, so for most photographers, I think like they're great people, like they're really amazing to work with, and they're like just overall cool individuals. But sometimes I do get the impression that they see models as like props instead of coworkers or partners. Like they don't sometimes see us as models as like being their equals in like the establishment that is photography. Like you know, you get photographers of all skill and experience levels that believe models should either not be paid or should pay the photographer. Like, no matter if they're a beginner photographer or not, they're like, no, models, we're taking their pictures, like, they don't deserve any money, or they don't deserve, like, any recognition for this, like, they're just our props. And I'm like, I would like for a lot of photographers to view models more so, like I said, as co-workers instead of as like just like an accessory to their backdrop. Like, you know, like, okay, let's work together, you can talk to me, we can talk about like our ideas, like, because I'm also a person here. But for the most part, like, I think they view models in a positive light, but there are a few that like just see them like with little respect, sort of like they're like always demanding like attention and money and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, which at the same time, like, you're also providing a service. If you weren't there, what are they going to photograph?
I guess they could be landscape photographers, which is also cool, but like that's why you have models like that know what they're doing, because like they're providing a service. So you could do like, you know, trade for print, and that could work out. Like, you know, you're trading your services. Like, I'm trading me as a person, like my makeup, my presence, outfit, whatever you want, and you're just, you know, you can give me however many pictures you want. Like, it's just a trade. Like, you don't have to make it about like, oh, you don't deserve this, or
I mean, you guys are working together. You get pictures for your side, they get pictures for theirs. You work on your own skills, and like being a freelance, like you said, you do everything by yourself. So you're not having anyone go in with hair and makeup and doing all that.
Like, I have to take like my whole day off, and I know you like you're like the prep queen. When you have a photo shoot, you're just like, okay, 8 a.m. I'm going to the salon. I'm like, that's good on you. Because I'm like the opposite of prep. I like rush in like 1 hour.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I do that sometimes too. It all depends on like how much I've really thought about it beforehand.
Yeah.
So you've had plenty of experiences with people not really respecting you as a model, people not seeing you as a model, and then, you know, you're working on your craft yourself. But are there any specific things that you've learned from modeling, or something you could take away that makes you feel good, or maybe has warned you about future things?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the things I got from modeling are like all like usually positive. Like, I've, you know, got to meet like incredible new people, like models and photographers alike. Like, I have friends and I have acquaintances, but like when I'm not like in school or at work, like I usually don't interact with that many people, so modeling gives me a chance to just like meet up with people, and you don't just like take pictures, like it's, you hang out, like you talk to them, like you talk about like, oh, what are you doing, like what do you want to do in the future, like are you in school, like, you know, do you have kids, like you meet new people. So you get to learn how to communicate with like a wide variety of like people, and like you can even network. Like you never know who you're gonna meet, like as a photographer or even as a model, like you never know. You gain a lot of confidence in yourself too, which is like a big thing. Like from my very first shoot, when I went like, oh, I don't know how I look, am I ugly, am I like, is this a hot mess, like am I sweating, oh my god, like to like now where, you know, I still get a little nervous, but like I have more confidence because of modeling. Like I know exactly what I want out of like a shoot, and I know what makes me feel good, like I know what makes me look good, and like that's all really like nice positive things. You also get to learn a lot about like the technicalities of photography if you do decide to like talk to your photographer about it. So like as a model, it's actually really fun to like talk about the shoot you just did, and then like you can like look at their like you can look at the camera and like they'll talk about like how they're gonna edit it, and like, oh, this would be really cool if I did like low shadow, and like I'm like, oh shit, it's fun. Like you get to learn about all like the craft itself of photography, like, and they get to learn about modeling, like talking to models and like learning how to make them comfortable, and it's like a give and take.
So that being said,
yes,
do you have advice for photographers? Because I feel like a lot of times a model knows how they feel, the photographer knows how they feel, but there's not always perfect communication.
Yeah.
What is something that you would wish they would know beforehand?
So I think a lot of photographers, especially when they're starting off, they kind of don't like communicate very well with models. They'll just kind of like hide behind the camera, which I've had that experience. I've had to like speak up and like, oh, do you want me to, what do you want? Like, oh, just do whatever. Or like they'll ask like, okay, they'll look around at the like environment that we're in, like, what do you want to do next? I'm like, dude, you asked me to come model for you. Like obviously like I'll help out, but like if I don't know what you're looking for, like I think that's also a good thing, like for photographers and models alike, to go into a shoot knowing what you want out of it. So like, you know, what kind of theme do you want? Do you want me to like portray a certain character? Do you want a mood? Like, you know, what do you want? What should I wear? How should I pose? Like, you know, is it too sexy? Is it too not sexy enough? Like, you know, like, you know, I think good communication is like a solid thing. Like that's all you really need. Yeah, to make a model feel comfortable too.
Are there any things that you wish they would or maybe wouldn't say, or maybe a better way of approaching you if they want you to model for them?
Well, in terms of like things that they shouldn't say like while we're on the shoot, like a lot of the times I think some photographers I've worked with, they'll like make noises when they're
like,
looking.
What noises?
They're like, oh, or like I'm like, okay. Or like, oh yes. I'm like, okay, look, like I'm glad you are enjoying the pictures, and I'm like, okay, cool, like these are good pictures, but sometimes like, you know, toning down like your emotions. You don't have to like, you know, unless you're like really cool with each other and it's just like funny, but like I've had people I don't know very well like just grunt like after taking a picture.
Now that sounds like fun.
Yeah, or like maybe I know a lot of the times either people don't know, but you don't like touch the model, or like, oh, let me just fix your hair, like let me fix your shirt. I'm like, no, I can do it, just ask me over there and I'll fix it.
Are you okay if they ask you first? It's
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you mind if I just like move this thing?
Yeah, because I'm like, you know, I know that you see what I don't, so like you just you get to move it, but you can ask.
But they're at least not like grabbing you.
Yeah, sometimes I've had like just a grab, not like in, you know, intimate areas.
Yeah.
But like still.
It's just like nobody said anything. They just immediately grabbed you and tried to make you move.
Especially with when I had like longer hair, they would always try to flip it. I'm like, okay, first of all, I styled this bitch. Like you're not about to touch me. But in terms of like beforehand, sometimes when like newer photographers ask models for a shoot, sometimes they can be like a little informal or like abrupt. Like I'm like, okay, it's like, think of it as like you writing a business email. Like, you know, when we were in college or in high school, like we learned how to write emails. Like, oh, salutations, such and such at over my hotbed bud. Like, this is it. Like, you have to kind of introduce yourself, introduce like, you know, maybe like you have a website, like, oh, look at, this is kind of like the work I do. I'm looking for this kind of theme. I really enjoy your work. Like, I think we could be a good fit. Let's work together. Very easy, but some people just go like, I want to shoot, like, just so super informal about it, or like really weird and like offstandish, and like just speak to me.
Now, do you feel like those people are more unprofessional? Because when I have people come in and say, hey, I'm a photographer, want to shoot, I'm doing this, I'm free this weekend, and like they didn't introduce themselves, or maybe their account's on private. I don't like that personally.
Me neither.
But okay, so you don't like it either?
No. Like I get it for like if people have like their own private page, but like I don't understand how you can want to grow a business and have like a private, like what led you to have that be private? Like as a photographer, like as a model, I can sort of see maybe like you get harassed a lot, but like as a photographer, are like why I would love to know why some of the accounts are private. I'm like, are you like not trying to have people see your work? Or like do you have like a separate website, and like Instagram is more like where you just dump like extra shoots? Like I don't know. Yeah, but that's weird to me.
I think it's weird too. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So after like there's a lot of experiences you've gotten to this point. Now, you know that there's like 18-year-old girls just starting out of high school, and they're like, oh my god, I want to model, and they want to do this, and they want to do that, and some of them are dudes too. Like, what kind of advice, after having experience, would you give them?
Okay, well, so for younger models in particular, I think like always have someone there, especially if it's like your first like year shooting or a couple of like first shoots. Like just always have somebody there that you know you can like trust, and like just in case things go south, like they don't usually do, but you never know. So like especially with being a younger model, like you're going to probably work with an older photographer, probably going to be a man, like that's just how it is. And they're not always like predators, but like again there's the rare few. So like, you know, as a young girl, like you're vulnerable to, you know, especially being new to photography, like they might try to manipulate you, or like they might not knowingly like talk to you in a way that you feel uncomfortable doing certain things, and like you don't know you're uncomfortable, so like you just keep doing what they're asking, and they think you're comfortable because you're doing it. So it's like this communication where yeah, you're young and you might not know how to communicate what makes you uncomfortable like during a shoot, but like I think it's like just knowing that, oh, if it doesn't feel right, don't keep doing it. Like, you know, you're young, like you can speak up, especially as like usually like a female model. Like, you know, obviously male models too, like when you're young you are easily impressionable too. Like you can have people make you do whatever you want, whatever they want, like without them knowing that it's wrong. It's weird. It's like it's just all about communication. But that's just for like young models. Like you know, advice for like other models is different, but that's like the big one for younger ones.
So then what's the advice for older models? Are we talking like 30 and up, or
well, like I think anything over like 21, like 20,
so
around like like I mean then again any model, like I think a good thing is learning like to always be prepared during shoots. So like you should know like what to bring with you. Like, do you have backup outfits? Do you have like accessories with you? Like I have like a car full of extra shoes in case like the photographer wants like a different theme, or like just like a box of like old jewelry that you have just for like modeling. It's mostly just like being prepared for like anything. Like extra belts, all that. And obviously there's also prep, like what we talked about, you know, like starting your day off, like don't procrastinate, and just like anything else, like, you know, if you really want it to go well, like obviously you can get ready in an hour, like and like I've done that, you know, just don't be late, like respect photographers' time and respect your time, but just know, like, you know, have maybe like a planner, like okay, I'm gonna do my makeup, or I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna do my hair, makeup, I laid out my outfit. Like just being prepared is like the biggest thing in everything in life, but especially with modeling. So yeah, that's like the general advice I kind of give, because that's like what I struggle with, is being prepared, and then like not having enough items on me. Like, oh, I only brought one outfit, but maybe they want you to change, or yeah, things like that.
Is there a specific thing where you're like, any photo shoot, I have to have this with me?
I want to think of like non-makeup items. I think in any photo shoot, I want to have either a change of shoes, a change of like jacket, or like cardigan, belt, accessory. Like I want to be able to change like one thing. Like I have like a basic outfit on, and then I could just change something quickly, like, you know, shoes, bracelet, whatever.
So you always have backup, you like to prepare. What's one thing that you're like, okay, for this photo shoot, I have to have it, any photo shoot?
Oh god, because when it's one thing, it's like so hard.
I mean, it could be a couple of things, but you know this is your very, I need to keep this with me.
Okay, besides mascara or eyelashes, because those
And
will
lash glue.
desert you in a moment.
So being a model in general, but also a freelance model doing everything yourself. What are your pet peeves doing that? But also, what are some pet peeves in like your regular life?
Oh, that's good. That's good. Very good. Pet peeves when I'm doing everything myself is, I think the most is photographers not knowing that I do everything myself. So photographers that like, obviously there are those that acknowledge like my time and effort, but like there are some that are like, oh, you don't just have to show up? I'm like, well, look, I can't just like get my gear together, wear my little like my khakis and my button up and go to work. Like, I have to take the whole day off. I have to do like a face mask. I have to shave everything, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
Like in the winter, it's easy because I can just get away with like wearing like leggings and like a sweater. But I have to do all this prep and be on time, if not like early, to like meet up with them. And a lot of times people don't realize that. So like that's a pet peeve. It was like people thinking that like, oh, it should be easy. Like you just get dressed, right? Like, no.
It's not.
Like I have to be in front of a camera. This isn't like, you know, going in a cafe. Like I have to get ready to be in front of like high definition cameras.
Yeah, that's a big thing too.
That like, oh my god. And then now that I've started wearing foundation, it's like you have to like make sure like people don't. I think it's a lot of things like post-production where you can see like your cake face in the final product, and I'm like, I want to smooth it out, but sometimes people don't like that. If you like, I think one time like I edited out my acne, which is another freaking pet peeve, is my acne. So like on camera, even if it's like you cover it up, like it's still textured, so if you want to touch it up, sometimes I've had photographers tell me like, oh, I see you took away your acne or like smooth your face out, just so you know that's not legal, and I want you to like delete that picture and upload the real one. I'm like, are you serious? Like, it's my face. So, like, I don't want my face to look a certain way, but like everything else I can understand, like lighting, I shouldn't be able to touch, I shouldn't put like a filter when they spent like hours editing, but like, if you're not gonna smooth my skin out, at least smooth out the pores. I can see every crevice.
Yeah.
That's like a pet peeve, is like working with your makeup or like your hair. Like, you know, your hair looked so good at home, and then you go out and you're like, why does it now look like I'm wearing like a raggedy wig?
And then, of course, it's humid outside.
Yes.
Like,
flies and get itchy, get sweaty, and then you're like, oh my god, to pat my freaking face down, or like you get like rashy. Like it's just pet peeves related to just everything surrounding like, you know, the environment or like makeup, or like if you're wearing clothes, it's like this little tight, or like I wore Spanx and like I didn't eat, or like I'm hungry, I'm cranky, like it's just a lot of things. You have to like deal with like being a person. Also, shooting while on your period.
Oh god, yeah.
I've hit that mark. I don't know how I managed to like time my shoots that way, but it always seems to like, oh, I'm bloated, or like, oh, I got like a little like, you know, pimple from that.
Like, break out, and you're like, great.
So many pet peeves. I'm trying to think of like now pet peeves in general.
Driving.
I have a plethora. People like we just witnessed today that don't get in the turn lane until they are at the intersection. Like they'll wait and they'll slow down. Like people that slow down and then they'll get in the turn lane. And I'm like, you. I'm about to lose my mind. Like, I don't understand it. Or like, people that like go like 50 and the left lane, there's like 5 lanes, and they're in the left lane going 50 in like a 55 or 65, and then they want to get off the exit, so they just like fly off the highway, like literally endangering everybody else on the road. And like, it's just some things I'm like, I don't understand how you put your socks on this morning. I don't understand how you got up. Like, how are you not just like laying in bed, like brain dead? Like, how are you functioning? You have a job. These people have jobs.
These people probably handle your money.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how people act this way. Like, even people, like, pet peeves, like, when I was in retail, too, like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. The people that, like, go in thinking that you owe them the world, or, like, you're the reason for all their problems at home. Like, they come in, like, I saw this, because I used to work at Dick's Sporting Goods, so, like, there'll be, like, one person came in, like, oh, yeah, I have this bowling ball. It says it was $7. Like, knowing full well a bowling ball is, like, $60.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's just on the wrong rack. It's like, okay, that's your problem. It's $7 now. I'm like, first of all, like, I'm about to get fired. Like, I never let anybody talk to me any certain way. Like, I will get fired from this minimum wage paying fucking job. You think this bowling ball is $7? Like, I was like,
oh my god.
We gave it to him for $7.
Did you really?
Yes. So the manager could, because he was getting violent. Because I was yelling.
Throw the
He
bowling
was
ball.
yelling.
Bowling ball.
Here's your fucking bowling ball. Honestly, get over here for free. Like, honestly, get out of my face. Like, I think I don't know. I'm trying to think of like pet peeves that don't revolve around driving or work, but that's like what I do. So
yeah,
that's a good pet peeve. Like people that don't know how to act.
I mean, what about so if for those of you who don't know, Christina and I have gone to college together. So let's talk about campus. Are there any people on campus that may give you a pet peeve?
Oh, I have a weird one. I want to first talk about like as students, like when I see like the sidewalks are narrow, right? And like, you know, classes are ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
I have class to be at. So some people don't have classes to be at. Like they just are there. And they like to walk so fucking slow at like the busiest times on campus. They'll just like meander in the middle of the sidewalk and I can't like go around them without being a bitch. Like I have to like, okay, excuse me, sorry. Like, but they're always like listening to music and like people that walk slow in front of you in general is a pet peeve, but like when you're trying to get to class and you got like 3 minutes to go and it's like across, it's like you're in North Campus and you have to get to like South Campus like running. That's a pet peeve. A weird pet peeve. This is a pet peeve in general. So I used to live in Chicago and I know what a busy city looks like, and this is like kind of ties into like a busy campus environment where people think that during like traffic hours where people are trying to leave campus or like 8 a.m. when people are like swarming in trying to find a parking spot, people want to walk their dog or they want to run with their strollers. And they're like in like on the sidewalk just like pretending they're college students. Like you couldn't have gone to a park. People this is like getting really specific. I think people that like take their bike out or take their strollers out or take their dog out for a walk at 8 a.m. or like at 5 p.m. should be put in jail. Like people that purposely like are like riding their bike like in a lane when it's like traffic, or like when they're on the sidewalk with a stroller with like a dog like that's barking at the kids. Like the amount of time it is getting out of hand. I mean, I don't know, I feel like if you have a campus pet peeve, I'd be like, I would agree with it though, because I can't think of like, I know I have them.
No, I definitely agree.
It's like, just hard to like really think of.
I don't like people in my way. Like you don't have to go as fast as me.
No.
But do me a favor and like have some self-awareness and maybe move to where you're not in everyone's way.
Yeah.
And that's for driving. That's for walking. Just like move over.
Get out of the way. Get out of my way because I'm a powerhouse and I have places to be.
Don't go 20 miles under the speed limit in like the fast lane, you know?
I know.
Just think about it a little bit.
Oh my god. And then UD now with the freaking construction. Let's not like that's only I guess only people that are there will understand. Like I made a whole video about it that like I got 2 people that were mad at it. Like I was like, I think it was titled like UD eats ass.
Oh my god.
And I was in my car during one of my breaks and I was just like talking about how much UD sucks and like don't go here, they're gonna steal your fucking money and like they're always doing construction, they're never done, they don't care about you. And I was like getting so heated. Someone's like, as an alumnus you should be ashamed.
Oh my god.
I'm like, okay.
Not everyone is like super joyous about their college experience. I really feel like sometimes they're just like, hey, we're gonna take your money, also we don't know what we're doing.
Exactly.
So like good luck.
I know, like this is an experience for both of us. Like we're gonna take your money, but also, you know, we're just figuring it out as we go along too. But yeah, those are mine.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But I love your rant videos because we both like to rant. I just not like anything.
As you can tell. I don't even remember what I was talking about with the dogs and strollers.
It's just so difficult. Life is difficult sometimes, and like sometimes you just want to bitch about it.
Right.
And you know, while some people are like, "Well, that's not like a good thing," sometimes it's funny.
It is. It's
just laugh
it's
about
cathartic, as people say.
Exactly.
Like if I don't complain, I will implode. Like I'll literally die on the spot if I have to be nice to a person. Like I can't imagine being famous. Like I can literally upload a video like saying the most like insane, like, offensive, like, things, and nobody will care. Nobody will blink an eye.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, unless it goes viral, and then I can never do anything in my life ever again. But, like, I can't imagine, like, never being able to say anything.
No, but I like the attitude you have, because you're like, I'm not gonna deal with this shit, okay? I'm not.
The amount of times I just walked out of, like, a job because
Really?
I'm like, I don't quite like your tone. Like, I worked at Penn Cater at UD, like, it was like a big cafeteria for whoever doesn't know. And that was a mess. Like, I dealt with, like, a really rude. Oh.
Was it a student? See, I don't even get that either. Like, you're both students.
Right.
What's your problem?
Like, it was like a long line,
Yeah.
and I was at it was like a Subway style, like, buffet where I worked, like, at the cafeteria. I served food. And she was on her phone. I was like, can I get anything? Like, what do you want? What do you want? I'm like, hey. And she was on her phone. And then I went to the person next to her. And I was like, okay, what do you want? And she was like, oh, so we're not serving black people now. I'm like, I'm like, hold on. How do you hear that? Like, it was on purpose? Like, are you just out to get me? Like, did I do something to you in a past life? Where you're just like, that's when you pay attention, is when I go to the person behind you then for food. Because you weren't listening. Yeah. She's like, well, you weren't trying to get my attention.
Oh
like,
my God, you were.
And her friend was with her, like, yeah, she was just racist. Like, she wasn't doing anything. She was just, like, looking at you and, like, making a face, and she wasn't really talking. Like, I was like, okay, what's happening right now?
I know.
Because I'll take this badge off. I'll take my name tag off right now. Like,
I know you're such a nice person, and you will definitely try to, like, well, like,
I'm okay. No, I'm not. Okay, thank you.
You're definitely going to do your job, but if you've sat there trying to get someone's attention, try to do your job, and try to be nice. At some point, you can only go so far. You're like, okay, well,
I know.
You're not working with me.
I know. Like, I don't have, like, some people, like, honestly, bless their hearts. Like, I'll see some people, like, I don't know how they put up with the shit they put up with. Like, I would have been, like, fired or in jail for, like, what you put up with. I just don't have, I have so much nerve in me. Like, I'm just a nerve ball. Like, I have so much anger and, like, just, like.
But, all right, let's, like, try to flip this back into, like, a modeling question real quick, because I feel like that's interesting. So, like, I feel like you have the same type of attitude as I do. So do you feel like that helps you with your modeling stuff? Where you're like, I'm not going to deal with this shit for you, okay? This is my job. Treat me with some respect.
Exactly. Like what we were talking about with, like, advice for photographers or advice for models, like, speak up. Yeah. Like, if this is not going in a direction that you wanted to go to, or, like, you want to do something, you're like, honestly, no, okay, I want to do this. Let's go over here. Like, come on. Like, chop chop. Like, if you are able to take direction, like, well, you know, people like that have that kind of, like, nerve about them, like, you can take direction a lot better. Like, you can, like, or take initiative, I should say.
Yeah, like, you're not trying to be, like, overly aggressive and dictate everything, but it's good to have that type of voice, because you know what you're about. You know what you're going for. Yeah,
from where I was, like, just sitting there quietly, to, like, now I'll literally be like, okay, that's a nice spot over there, let's go. Yeah. And, like, I'll just, like, have everyone follow me, like, because I usually work at, like, in, like, little meetups that we do, so, like, that's what I do. I'm like, yeah, let's just do this because I want to do it. Like, I'm not being, like, mean about it, but I'm, like, taking initiative. Yeah. Like, let's do this. We don't have time. But that's so funny, like, compared to, like, for my first shoot.
It's so nice. Like you said, like, you really do get the confidence. I love having that. Like, because, I don't know, like, it's hard to be that way. And you're like, oh, I'm just going to stand here and not do anything.
Exactly, right. I'm so happy, like, because I'm still, like, obviously, like, a kind of nervous person, but, like, every now and then, like, if I get too fed up with something, like, it'll come out. I'm also a Leo, but I'm, like, a, like, closeted Leo. Or I don't know how to say it. Like, I don't know if you would notice until I started, like, speaking. Like, I'm usually, like, reserved, and then if I get mad, it's like, oh, I understand. Yeah. I understand now.
You have a limit, you know? Mm-hmm. There's always a limit.
Yeah.
So, it's like a whole 180. We've been all over the place, but
this together, like,
we just feed off of each other. We're a lot.
Oh my god.
But I want to know more about you, because, like, what we like to do is really get more personality from models, because, you know, like, I feel like there are times where, like, oh, you model. Great, you're a model. Cool. You're empty, you're a bimbo, you have nothing to offer. But that's not true.
Yeah, true.
So, you've had colored hair. I want to talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Not that you were going to talk about that.
Oh, no, I have to, because coming from a similar experience, it was great. For those of you who don't know, we both have blue hair at the very same time.
We're both blue-haired hoes. Blue-haired Tracy's.
Yes. But, what did you like? What was your favorite color?
Oh, blue.
Okay, we're on the same page.
Aquamarine. Oh my god. I look at pictures now and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to have a bob. I want it to be like a greenish blue. I'm like, no, stop it. I feel like stop myself. Like, no more blue. I can't. I love my clothes.
Right? Like,
I love my
life.
life.
Things about it.
Oh, I mean, besides like, okay, so I'm white and like I have to wash my hair every 3 days. So like, you know, people that don't have to wash it that often, you can have like vibrant hair all the time. Like the amount of money I've wasted on like quality, because Arctic Fox is what I use, and like I know you use that, and like it's quality and it's kind of like, it's not pricey, but it's like if you want like $12 a bottle, and like my hair would always fade into this ugly greenish blue color, and I'm like, I have to keep it like vibrant, like at least twice a month or 3 times a month, like.
And that's of course no fault to like the people making the product. It's just because you wash it, and that's what
exactly
happens.
It's like it's amazing, and like it would make my hair feel nice. Yeah, it was just I had to wash it all the time because my hair is dirty. So like I would always have to like it's like the upkeep was a lot. Although the process, I do miss like being in my bathroom at 3 a.m. like dyeing my hair, to like watching YouTube and like dyeing my hair. Like I miss that, but I also like that I have like natural hair now that I don't have to do anything to. But I really miss dyeing my hair.
I feel you, but like, isn't it nice to not stain your clothes and your bed sheets and your towels and everything?
I mean, what are possessions when you really think about it? Well, you can just have fun. I don't know. I'm like going back and forth, but I'm gonna try to keep this hair. I'm gonna try to keep it. I really want it. So yeah.
It's a struggle. I miss it too.
And I like how like I had like the coloring phase that I had was like lasted like a year. I was like purple, green, blue, purple, and then like this weird pink, and then this weird light purple, and then like I would always like do shit to my hair, and then every like so often it would just get shorter and shorter, and now I have a pixie. Like it's just. I don't know what happened in that year, but a lot happened.
Not to be offensive with this question, but like, do you feel like alright, you don't get offended.
No, I don't, by anything.
But like, I feel like when I have a stressful point, sometimes I'm like, this is when I'm gonna change my hair. And then like at 3 a.m., I'm dyeing my hair.
Like, right, like this is how I'm gonna cope, by just, at least, but it's just hair, like I could do worse, like I could like, I don't know. I
mean, you can bleach it until it falls out, so you know.
True. And then fresh start, like an accidental fresh start. But like it's like I usually dyed my hair at my most stressful moments. So like something good came out of the stressful moments. Yeah. Some vibrant pop in hair, like something came out of it.
So besides dyeing your hair and rant videos, what other like hobbies, or I mean those aren't really hobbies, but like
honestly they are hobbies. I mean I also like to crochet. Yeah. But like I don't know, like I can only do it to a certain point. And like now I'm kind of on my off period and I really want to get back and like make myself like cute shit again. I like to crochet. I really like to like what do I like to do? I like to read comic books. Okay. I actually really like comics. Like I'm really into I'm into manga too. Like I used to be ashamed of it in high school, but now I'm like at the bookstore all the time, like reading like little Japanese comics. Like I don't know, like I really like reading, I like crocheting. I like watching shit. Watching movies.
But you like to watch like nerdy stuff. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your favorite kind of nerdy show?
Nerdy show. What's a nerdy show?
I feel like I like cult favorites, or like cult favorites or mangas or
I don't know.
What am I talking about? Anime. Oh my god.
I always mix the two up as well, even though I'm like literally learning Japanese. Yes. I always forget the two. I don't know. I think I like to watch like. It's weird. Like I can go from like Always Sunny in Philadelphia to like what was I just watching, like a guilty pleasure show. I don't know. I used to watch Supernatural, and I'm kind of ashamed of that.
Why?
Because its fan base is a little questionable. They're crazy. I used to be a little crazy with Supernatural, and then I stopped, and then, like, I don't know. I can't think. Like, I know I have, like, a list of things I just kind of watch just to watch, but, like...
No, I get you. I feel like if someone puts you on the spot, you're like,
Because I'm trying to think, like, I don't know, what are, like, my guilty pleasure shows or, like, nerdy shows, like... I don't freaking know. Okay, what are yours?
Oh, mine?
Yeah,
Oh,
or like
God.
at least one. Like, do you have like one where you're like, oh, if somebody knew I watched this?
Oh my God, My Little Pony. It sounds
well,
so stupid.
At least
but I love it.
No, it's not bad because I mean there are grown men that watch it.
Yeah,
so,
bronies. And now
Yes.
there's this thing called Pegasister, and people always make fun of me like, "Oh, so you're like a brony?" I'm like, "Number one, it's Pegasister. Thank you."
Oh, there's a name?
Yes.
Oh,
But
Pegasus.
but I'm not like one of those people that like sits in my bedroom with like My Little Pony all over the place. It's just like it was a joke because there were bronies, and then I was like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna watch it one day, and I did, and I was like, wow, like this is a quality show.
Yeah.
And I love cartoons anyway, and that
Same.
was my first cosplay. Was Pinkie Pie from this
Yeah.
show.
Oh shit.
So yeah.
That's so cute.
But I mean, guess that's out to the world now. But whatever, it's fine.
Whatever. Yeah, like I like that. I like cartoons, and I also like fantasy type stuff.
Yes, I love fantasy
Like
stuff.
I love Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I love my little. Now that The Witcher came out, like I was obsessed with like The Witcher books,
Yeah.
and like I played all the video games. I have my only and my first tattoo is like my whole back.
Yeah.
It's inspired by like The Witcher. Like I like love fantasy. I love elves. Like I love all that crap. Like I like.
Oh my
really
God,
enjoy
we
that.
should do an elf photo shoot together. It'd be
I have
awesome.
elf ears.
So do I.
Of course you do. Of course you do. I would love to do like face paint and everything.
Oh God, we're brewing up something good here. We really
Yes.
are.
Get it on this action.
You're Greek. You go to Greece a lot.
Yes.
What do you like most about taking those trips?
Oh, I think okay. This is like cheesy or like emotional, but every time like sometimes like I don't think of like I'm so busy here where I don't think about how much like I miss like my family in Greece. I don't figure like because I grew up in Greece, so like I don't ever realize how much I miss it until like the best part for some reason is like when I'm on the plane and we're about to land. Like it's like a 9-hour trip, and you start seeing like the mountains, and I'm like I start seeing like the beaches and like the ocean. And then I can see like Athens is where we land. And like I'm like I get emotional like every time because I'm like, oh my God, like I hate this place and I love this place. I hate it because the people are freaking crazy, but I also love it because the people are crazy. Like I like going there. It's like completely different from the United States. Like everyone's like so like welcoming and like in your face, and like they always want to like give you stuff and like provide. Be like, oh, you want food? You want drinks? Or you want this? Like here, take this. Like they're so nice, but they're also freaking crazy. Like I don't know, I miss like going to the beach and like you know, like America has nice beaches, but they're kind of like poop, like because I'm so used to like warm like Mediterranean beaches, and then I come back home and I went to like the beach for the first time like 2 years ago here. It was like I think Bethany, and it was so cold and there were waves. Like what is this? Is this a hazard? Because there's no waves in like Greek Ocean.
Really?
There's nothing. It doesn't move. So like it's just warm and like still, and you can just play.
You just play in the water.
I love it, but then I come here, I'm like I'm gonna die. Like I didn't experience my first wave. I'm
Oh
like,
my God,
shit.
you haven't been anywhere else then, right? Like Bethany's nothing.
No, I can't imagine California, but I would love to. But that's what I miss. Really, it's just like the environment, like the mountains, the people, like the ocean, like food.
Oh yeah, food. I bet
Something
it's
about
great.
I think in Europe in general, like just the food, like you feel different. Like you could be eating junk food in like Europe and it's like not the same as like junk food here. Like you don't feel like you're about to die. Like it's like they don't like put all these like chemicals in there. Like everything feels good like when you eat it. Like so yeah, that's what I miss. Like just wholesomeness.
So you're talking about all the food in Greece and everything. Do you have a favorite food that you get there that you love the most?
So, I mean a good gyro, like but like even without the meat in it, because I don't eat meat, but I eat fish now, but the fish there too. Seafood in Greece is like you have to do it, even if you don't like seafood, you have to do it. Like, and then the gyro, like it's just this big freaking like loaded pita. Even if you don't have meat, like I said, you could just load it with like fries, veggies, like feta cheese, like the tzatziki sauce. And the pita's always fresh and like warm, so it's like yeah, you can get that here, but like when you're in Greece, like you need to just go anywhere and you'll get like the best freaking gyro of your life. Like that's like my number one. Their fries are also like I said, like their fries, I don't know what they bake them in or like fry them in. They always come out, they're always brown, but they're like a little soft, a little crispy. Like I'm talking about like fries. Like I'm talking about
I love
Greece.
fries. You got me going now.
I'm obsessed with fries. Like, I need to try fries from everywhere, but Greek fries are amazing. Or, like, the potatoes, like, with lemon on them, like, or, the stuffed grape leaves.
Ooh.
Those are really good. Like, they're really good. So, I can talk about food.
Well, if we're talking about food, since you're a pescatarian, and I feel like because I've joined that type of community, I feel like there's a lot of negative stigma around that.
There is.
So why'd you start it, and like, what do you get?
So like, I was vegan for 6 years, and like, I was strict. Like, I never put dairy in my mouth. I still haven't put like meat in my mouth. But yeah. So yeah, but then recently, like, I've been trying to like lose weight, and for some reason I just been like stuck, and I'm like, oh, I should be like, I'm vegan, I should be like seeing something, but you know, I figured like, I finally realized not every diet is meant for like every person, like, you know, veganism is not for everybody, so I'm like, okay, let me just start introducing a little bit of dairy back in, like, or some eggs, and then when I introduced fish, I don't know what happened, like, my mental state was better, like, I felt better. I don't know if it was, like, the fatty acids in there, like, I, like, lost so much weight, like, belly fat just, like, and I'm like, all because of fish? Like, that was so crazy to me, and it's, like, you know, I don't, like, shame people that eat meat, like, I don't care anymore, but some people are like, oh, you just eat fish, or, like, you just don't eat meat? I'm like, yeah, it's pork, chicken, and beef. Like, there's so much other food out there. Like, it's not that, like, crazy to not eat, like, or just to eat fish, or, like, but yeah, that's why I did it. Like, and I feel really good now, so fish is the way to go. Get that mercury in my bloodstream.
So you like the diet then, like, but why'd you start being a vegan and then pescatarian?
Well, vegan, like, I didn't even care about, like, the health benefits of veganism. Like, I watched some documentary called Earthlings. I don't, like, if you have, like, any, I don't know, you'll be traumatized, basically. Like, so I don't recommend watching it unless you want to go vegan, I guess. But it, like, shocked me into veganism, and I was in Greece at the time. So, like, going vegan in Greece, like, vegan here is, like, you're a freak, but, like, in Greece?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're, like, what is that? Like, what is that, like a cult? Like, they thought I was like, I joined a cult.
Really?
Yeah, which, I mean, a lot of people in America see it too as like a cult, which sometimes it can be, like, you know, vegans can be kind of crazy.
There's extremists.
Yeah. It, like, oh my god. But I went like that because it, like, for like the animals basically, and then I started noticing like health benefits. Sure, like, you know, when you cut meat and dairy, like, some you'll see like health benefits, but it wasn't something that I like noticed entirely. Like, it didn't work like it did for others as it did for me, but I just stuck with it because eventually, like, stuck as like a habit.
Yeah.
And then I just went pescatarian because I was like tired of like not having anything to eat, because like I'm not rich, so like I can't always buy like the vegan protein and like vegan food, so I was always eating like bread and carbs and carbs and carbs, and like I felt terrible, and I was like, oh, I can like substitute all these carbs with just fish again, and it's not that big a deal. Like, it's not, it didn't like hurt me or anything, like, it's just fish. So like I did that for that reason.
Now,
health.
Do you feel like saying something like that, like, I was a vegan, now I eat fish, do you feel like there are people that are going to give you backlash because you switch from that to that? There are people going to give you backlash because you don't eat meat? Yeah, like, I used to join like a lot of vegan Facebook groups, and like, I think I mentioned it at some point, like, in a comment or like in one of them, and they like completely like blocked me. People were sending me like messages like, oh my god, like, you don't care about the animals, like, because people were like crazy, and like I didn't have my Facebook on private back then, so like people were like messaging me about like how I should be ashamed and like I'm a bad person, like, and oh my god, like, I got backlash for being vegan in real life, but like vegans will give you shit if you quit veganism. Like, it can be crazy, but yeah, that's what I experienced. It's definitely a scary type of area.
It is.
Like, I only started doing that a couple months ago. I feel like people get really angry at you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't tell you what to do.
Exactly. But it's like they just get offended because you're doing it, and it's like, oh, are you doing it because you're saying I'm wrong? Like, you know what? Fine. Yes, I am. I hate you, and that is why I don't eat meat. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're walking around and being like, you know, you're just eating animals. That's terrible.
Exactly.
Like, you're just doing your own thing.
Just living life, man.
Yeah.
Peace side, like, just living my life.
Just trying to be you.
Right? Like, I hate Skittles. Should I punch you in the face because you're eating Skittles in front of me? Like, which I don't hate Skittles. I love Skittles, but, like, it's an example. I hate Butterfingers, though.
I don't like Butterfingers
Okay,
now
good.
because they changed the recipe and now it just tastes terrible.
Oh, they changed the recipe.
Yeah, like Butterfinger was my shit. It was the only
Really?
thing I loved to eat, and then they changed it, and I was like, "What the hell is that?"
Well, damn, I guess I wouldn't know. I'm just biting into it. Like, am I just biting, like, just a rock with, like, hard butter around it? Like, sorry, I'll stop again. We're bashing Butterfingers, Sue's small podcast. Oh my god. Okay.
So, tell me about what you do at school. Like, what are you going for?
Well, I'm going for health behavior science, which is just human services, but fancier sounding. So it's like broadly, like I can go into nursing if I want. I can like do mental health, like psychiatry, but like I'm about to do my internship this whole spring. Like I don't have any more classes, but I'm doing it like a drug and rehab like clinic. So that's kind of like the area I might want to focus on is like even more so rehab or like dealing with families that have like people that have like alcohol abuse going on or like drug abuse. So that's kind of what I want to do with my schooling. I'm just trying to get out really. Like, you know, I liked going to school for a certain amount of time, like when I was able to do whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
And then now that it's getting like real, it's like, okay, I gotta like, you gotta start making so many moves, and it's like, it's stressful because I'm like, okay, I have to schedule this internship, and it's like at a clinic, and I have to do this and this, and like there's a bunch of paperwork, and like, oh my god, I'm an adult, like, I hope, and then I'm like, oh, am I gonna get a job after this? Like, am I gonna be homeless? Like, I don't know. We'll see, but that's what I'm doing right now. I'm like basically done. So,
And then we're gonna graduate together.
oh wait, I thought you did graduate this fall.
Technically, but we're gonna walk together.
Oh yeah?
Guess.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't know.
I was planning on not walking, but if you want,
Oh.
I'll walk. I was just planning on taking the paper, saying fuck you and leaving, like. But I mean, we can walk, you know, be ceremonious.
Honestly, don't even know if we walk together, do we?
I have no clue.
Oh well, we'll figure it out.
I don't know how that works.
We'll take graduation pictures together. Awesome.
Right, we'll just, yeah, exactly.
We made it!
Right. And we can have them for free. I'm just kidding. I support whatever I can support, but
Yeah.
like, you know, we have people that can do it.
So, because you're going to school for health behavior sciences and everything, it sounds like you like what you're doing. And of course, you have done a lot of like you've invested a lot of time and effort into modeling. Is that something you want to keep doing as freelance, or would that be something you would maybe hopefully pursue?
I do want to pursue it. Like, I really like. I am like truly. It's not about like getting paid, but I would like to do out of state stuff and get paid for that. Or like I would like to do more modeling. Like I see so many photographers that are just like around the area or like in New York. Like I would love to travel and like do shoots like intense, like in like not real shoots because everything's a real shoot, but like, you know what I mean, like,
but like somebody really was like, oh, I want her, I'm paying her to see me.
I would like, that would be my dream. A lot of people I know like just started out and like they're already getting like, that's like a little sometimes like it's discouraging, like when you see people like just starting out and like I love when I see people obviously like succeed. Like if it's a fellow model, I know, like yeah, okay, you go girl. Like I get a little like, oh, like I hope somebody sees me one day. Hey, I'm just a little model in a big world.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult because I feel like there's a lot more like competition now because of Instagram. But like you do a lot of effort to make something. Like you're not just gonna go snap a quick pic. You're gonna like, I'm gonna put a lot of effort into it.
And I'm learning like the whole social media thing, like networking. Some people are just naturals. Like they'll make friends in like 10 minutes. Like I know everybody. I can network. I'm not really good. Like I'm really bad at like commenting. Like I'm really bad at like, oh, like hey, like I try to like make an effort to like comment on other photographers' pictures or the models' pictures and like give feedback and like try to be sociable. Like just to like, but it's really hard like that aspect because I'm not naturally like someone that goes and socializes. Like that's not my first like instinct to socialize.
It's
like
exhausting.
You have to like, if you want people to know who you are, like you have to do that. And it's like I'm sort of getting into that now.
Do you ever feel like stressed out with social media, trying to like actually put yourself out there more?
Yeah, sometimes I put up a picture or a set of pictures I think are amazing, and then it's like, oh, what if they don't do well? Or like, what if when they don't do well, sometimes they don't like do well, like in quotations, because like they just, you know, people still like them, but like they don't do as well as others where I'm not as into, like, so it's like what I like is maybe not what other people like, and I'm like, okay, how do I find the balance between what I want to do and what people want to see? Should I even care about what people want to see, or like should I take the audience into account? Like that's a lot of, and I'm like I don't have a big following at all, but that's still something I stress about. So I can't imagine having a big following and like thinking about that.
But you know, your people are gonna follow you because they like what you do. So I think they just like to see your personality, which you definitely have a lot of personality because you have it on your page. Like you do your rants and everything. Like people know what you're about. They know how you are, and it's just I feel like that's even better than just all pictures. Like you show yourself too.
I try to. Yeah, I really try to, because I'm like, okay, I can't just like post a picture and like I don't know. I try to like show people a little bit of who I am. Like I'm a little weird. I'm a little freaking like dorky and like kind of embarrassing sometimes, and I want to show that. So like at least I'm more approachable. Like so if people just see pictures but they don't see a personality, it's like I want to show people that I'm still a person. Like, you know, like I'm here, like I'm fun, like I'm not weird, like I don't know. I try to do that. I try.
Well, I do have a lot of belief and faith in you because I know how you are. You're just gonna keep doing it. I wish you the best of luck in all of your future shoots.
You too.
And thank you.
I mean, you don't need like you're doing amazing, sweetie. Like you're doing great.
You're doing good. I always feel like there's definitely the unseen part of it where like there are times where like you struggle and like you said, like you're like, oh, am I doing as good as them? Am I not doing as good as them? But we're all gonna get there if we keep working for it, you know, it's essential. So like I really hope that you do get that dream shoot. Like you do get to travel. Because that would be amazing. I'm gonna be supporting you. I'll be your assistant. I'll be there. But that is all I have for you today.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Christina. Once again, her name is Over My Hot Dead Bod, if anyone wants to find her on Instagram.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh, Peril.
Okay.
That was more aggressive.
Okay.
Same yes. They'll never know the struggle.